Welcome to our lesson on comparison shopping. This is going to be a very short writing note. There's more information with regards to explaining how things work. So, when buying appliances, they should have an Enter Guide or Energy Guide label like the one shown at right. So, when you're writing your note, I would say don't write that part because it's just showing you that we have this Enter Guide on the right. So this Enter Guide is what a standard one looks like. Sorry, it's probably a little bit blurry on your screen. What it does is they compare this model to similar models of the same type and size. So you'll see in the middle, so if I highlight this section here, and no, you do not have to copy this Enter Guide down. This is a built-in standard Bosch SHE33T. I'm pretty sure this is a built-in dishwasher. And you see this bar going across that says on the low end 200 kilowatt hours for energy use per year. And on the high end we see 325. So that means similar dishwashers like this would use somewhere between 200 and 325 kilowatt hours in a year under the same testing system. So they would say it's going to be run so many times a week, so 52 weeks a year, so they estimate how much energy gets used per year. This is at 279 kilowatt hours per year, which means that it's just a little bit above halfway because the halfway point's about there. So you can see that this particular model is going to use a little bit more electricity than the average. You then make a decision about, well, are there better options than this one or not? Because the cost of the purchase is one consideration, the electricity use is another consideration. You should always look at the ratings. So if you have a chance to rate or see ratings from an organization like Consumer Reports, something like this, that will help you make an informed decision. You can use this energy amount in kilowatt hours to calculate the cost to operate your device per year if you know how much electricity costs. In Ontario right now, if you're using there are two ways you can do it. It's either based on a high, mid, and low demand time periods, or it's a flat rate for the first, I forget how many kilowatt hours per month. And so there's two different ways, but for our purposes, if we just assume that most of the electricity is somewhere around 18 cents a kilowatt hour, that might be a little high, but electricity prices rarely go down, so not a bad starting point. So we're going to move on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so before you start copying, this is just to show you, here's a rating guide. This one happens to be on the right, you see one from Canada, and on the left, you see the corresponding one out of the States. You get a little bit more information on this one. So we can see that this is on the left-hand side here. If we look at that section right there, this is called a Coolotron. They give the model number, and it is a 2.4 cubic foot cooler refrigerator with a manual defrost. So we can get the rest of that information over here. So it's a manual defrost fridge. So this 2.4 cubic feet. So this is a pretty small one. It's probably only about this tall and about this square. And it may or may not even have a real freezer in it, but it might, if it does, it might have one of those really, really tiny ones that's only about this big of an opening. When we compare this unit, this compact refrigerator is almost as efficient as you can get for this type of model. So when they compare, if we look over here on the right hand side, look in this section, their category type 11 is less than 2.5 cubic feet, and their range is from 207 to 315, and at 213, this is about the least amount of energy you can possibly get from one of these devices. And at the time that they were doing the calculations, you'll notice here that they said that at 12 cents per kilowatt hour, they estimated a yearly cost of $26 to operate this. So $26 to operate this little fridge back in, I'm just looking to see what year this was. I saw something on one of the sides that said something about 1990. There we go. Based on 1992 or thereabouts. So at 12 cents per kilowatt hour, you're going to pay 26. Move it up to today's numbers in Ontario at about 18 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's about a half more, so about $39 a year to run this little Hoolatron. So if you want one of these devices, you can determine the cost of it to operate it. All right, you don't have to copy anything from this slide, and we're going to move on to the last slide in 3, 2, 1. The tasks that you're going to do in class, and do not copy this down. In class, I'm going to be giving you a worksheet that says you're going to use your phone. You're going to select an appliance type, so it can be a fridge, it can be a stove, something like that. Maybe your parents are thinking about replacing an item and you're going to do some research for them. You're going to find the purchase price of 3 similar current models of those appliances, and I think I might have changed that. I don't think we're going to be adding the HST, so I'm just going to cross that off for now. I'm pretty sure we're not doing that because I changed the worksheet. You're going to look up their Enter Guide labels. You're going to use the estimated electricity use to calculate the cost of the electricity that's going to be using over the course of a year. And then you're going to calculate the total cost to purchase and use this appliance for 10 years. So you're going to have a dollar amount for what it costs to buy it, dollar amount for 10 years worth of electricity. And based on those values for your 3 appliances, you're then going to decide which one of these is best, and you're going to complete that task and hand it in before you can work on your electrical circuit projects. All right, so real short lesson tonight, very little writing, but that's your task. And thanks for watching.